The first thing I saw was the old woman's eyes, cold, empty, like the bottom of a dark well. They seemed to follow me even when I turned my head. I still remember that feeling of dread, as if the very air around me was thick with something wrong. It was years ago, in a small village in Africa. We had heard whispers about the old woman who lived on the edge of the forest. They said she had magic, dark magic, but no one really believed it. We all thought it was just stories to scare kids. One evening, I was walking home alone when I saw her hut. It was small, hidden by thick trees and vines. I was curious, so I decided to take a closer look. The moment I stepped near, I felt a chill. The wind seemed to whisper warnings I couldn't understand. The old woman was sitting by her door, staring at me. She had a long, wrinkled face and her eyes seemed to hold secrets. I should have turned back then, but something pulled me forward. She invited me inside, saying she had something special to show me. Her voice was smooth but had an unsettling edge to it. Inside the hut, there was a strange, sweet smell. She had a small chest with intricate carvings sitting in the corner. She opened it and showed me a heart, a real heart, beating slowly as if it was alive. I felt a shiver run down my spine. She told me it was a heart of a person who had been deceived, and it held the power to reveal lies. She then asked me to hold it. I was terrified but couldn't refuse. As soon as I touched it, I felt a sharp pain in my chest. The heart's beat seemed to sync with mine, and I could see visions, people I knew, their hidden lies, their betrayals. It was overwhelming. When I let go, she took the heart back and put it away. Her smile was wide and strange, like she knew something I didn't. She told me I had seen too much and that I should forget what happened here. I left her hut in a daze, my heart pounding like the one in that chest. I couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. Even now, years later, sometimes I feel that same cold, empty gaze on me, and I know the heart's curse still lingers. And every time I hear whispers of deceit, I wonder if that old woman's eyes are following me again. The days after my visit to the old woman's hut were a blur of fear and paranoia. I couldn't sleep without waking up in a sweat, my heart racing from nightmares about the heart in that chest. I tried to go about my life, but the unease never left me. One night, while lying in bed, I heard a soft scratching sound outside my window. My mind immediately flashed back to that hut and the cold gaze of the old woman. I pulled the covers over my head and tried to ignore it, but the scratching grew louder, more urgent. Finally, I mustered the courage to peek outside. There was nothing there. Just the dark, quiet night. I tried to convince myself it was just my imagination, but the feeling of being watched only grew stronger. A few days later, I ran into an old friend who had also visited the hut. We exchanged uneasy glances and spoke in hushed tones. He told me he had started seeing things, too, faces appearing in the shadows, whispers of secrets he couldn't understand. It was the same as what I had experienced. We both agreed to go back to the hut, to confront the old woman and ask her to undo whatever she had done to us. When we arrived, her hut was gone. The spot where it had stood was just a patch of empty ground, overgrown with weeds. We searched the area, but there was no sign of the old woman or her strange, magical chest. The villagers we spoke to had never heard of her. It was as if she had vanished completely, leaving no trace behind. Since then, I've lived with the haunting knowledge of that hut and the lies it revealed. The visions don't come as often now, but every so often, I see something out of the corner of my eye, something that reminds me of the old woman and the dark magic she wielded. I know I'll never truly be free of the heart's curse. The old woman's gaze, the heartbeat that matched mine, and the secrets I learned, they are all part of me now, as if I'm bound to the deception she wove. And sometimes, when I'm alone at night, I can almost feel her watching me, waiting for the right moment to remind me of the heart that never truly left. Years have passed since that night, and life has moved on. I've tried to forget, to put those dark memories behind me. But some nights, when the wind howls and the shadows stretch long across my room, the old woman's presence feels close. Last month, I received a package in the mail. No return address, just a plain, brown box. My heart sank as I opened it, fearing what might be inside. To my shock, it was a small, intricately carved chest. The carvings were identical to the ones on the chest I had seen in the old woman's hut. Inside the chest was a note written in a shaky hand. It read, "The heart still beats. The secrets never fade." I felt my blood run cold. I had hoped that whatever curse had been placed on me would eventually wear off, but now it seemed the old woman had not forgotten me. I tried to convince myself it was a prank, but deep down, I knew the truth. That night, I placed the chest back in the box and buried it deep in the forest, far from my home. I couldn't bring myself to destroy it, but I hoped that by hiding it away, I might finally break free from the haunting memories. Even now, as I sit here writing this, I can't shake the feeling that something is watching me. The shadows in my room seem to move, and sometimes, when the wind is just right, I can almost hear the faint, rhythmic beat of a heart. If you're reading this, I hope you understand why I'm sharing my story. Beware of what you seek, and be cautious of the secrets you uncover. Some things are better left hidden, and some hearts should never be touched.